Shinso nervously walked to his girlfriend, Listener. Why was he nervous, you ask? Tonight he would officially meet her parents. The two had been dating for 3 months now, and they couldn't have been more happier. Listener yesterday decided it was time for her to introduce him to her parents. Hitoshi, there's no need to be nervous. I assure you, they will like you, she said. Listener leaned towards him and kissed him on the cheek. Listener gently opened the door, and an albino child ran towards her and hugged her waist. She smiled down at her and patted her head. The child turned to him and gave out a friendly smile. Listener? Who is he? And why is he here? Eri asked, pointing to the purple-haired teen. Listener turned to her boyfriend. He's Shinsou Hitoshi. He'll be joining us for dinner. Eri hid behind Listener's leg, clutching the stuffed kitten that she gave her for Christmas. I'm Shinsou Hitoshi. Nice to meet you, Eri. Shinso said, crouching eye level to her. Listener put a hand on her head. Go on, it's okay, she said. Eri stood up in front of Shinso, and he had to admit, the little albino girl was cute. Listener, nice to see you back home, and this must be your boyfriend, Hitoshi, right? You two came in just in time. Dinner is about to be ready. A woman with green hair and eyes came up to them, and beside her was a man with black hair and eyes identical to the teenager beside him. Oh, Mom and Dad, this is Hitoshi Shinso, my boyfriend. If Aizawa's glare wasn't scary before, it is now. Shinso, I'm surprised to see you here, Aizawa said, keeping his glare directed towards the purple-haired teen. Dad, I like this one. Please try to be nice, Listener told him. At the corner of Shinso's eye, the green-haired woman looked like she's about to laugh. Listener, mind if I can talk to you for a bit? Aizawa asked Listener, nodding and followed her dad, leaving Shinso alone with her mom and Eri. They got into the living area, and Listener sat at the sofa while Aizawa sat in front of her. There was an uncomfortable silence in the room. How long have you been dating Shinso? He asked. Listener looked at her dad confused. Wait, does he know him? Had they met before? Dad, do you know him? She asked. Aizawa sighed. Yes, I know him. I'm his mentor. I have been personally training him so he can transfer into the hero course, Aizawa said. Oh wow, now she understands. No wonder Shinso has been busy with his training with her dad, so he can get into the hero course as well. Now, how long have you been dating him? Aizawa asked again. 3, almost 4 months? She said nervously. Listener could feel him getting annoyed. Dad, I know you feel the need to protect me, but I need to make my own decisions as well. Listener said. Aizawa let out a sigh. She was right. He couldn't protect her forever. She needed to experience things all on her own. Fine, but if he decides to break your heart or hurt you, I'll make his training twice as hard. Listener laughed at her dad's words, but nevertheless agreed. Meanwhile, since Aizawa took Listener to the living room, Emmy took it as an opportunity to get at Shinso. The green-haired heroine decided to take the boy to the kitchen. So, Shinso, how did you meet Listener? She asked to keep the conversation light. I met her during the sports festival, she said. Emmy nodded her head. I'm glad she met you then. Listener has difficulty making friends. I was even worried that she'd be too closed off to making one, she said, frowning, but her lips curled up into a smile. Footsteps sound off behind them, and Emmy's smile grows as she sees her husband and her daughter. After dinner, it was time for Shinso to go home. But before he could go, Aizawa asked to talk to him in private. Listener told me how long you've both been dating, Aizawa said. Shinso nervously stood in front of him at the living area. Just so we're clear, Listener had agreed that if you break her heart or hurt her, I will make your training twice as hard. Shinso nodded his head. Don't, Sensei Aizawa. I would never do that to her, he said. Aizawa nodded his head as he extended out his hand, and Shinso shook it. Then it seems like we don't have a problem, the raven-haired male said. Listener smiled up at them after seeing him walk out of the living area. Listener decided to watch Shinso home, which he never minded. But before you could get further away, her mom yelled out the window. See you soon, future son-in-law. Listener's sweat dropped as her mom's laughter could be heard even from their distance.